Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, with the grace of the gods being this interesting show now, we honestly needed to see what our main character was going to be capable of when it came down to monsters and stuff like that. Knowing that slimes are in this, it's only possible that a ridiculous amount of other monsters should be in this show. So now that they're actually showcasing it and giving us more information, it was pretty cool to see these weird looking praying mantises and how not only um, our little sweetheart is capable of fighting herself, but I'm pretty sure she could do contracts or like taming contracts with different types of monsters outside of slimes. I'm not sure if they're going to. It seems like it's pretty dangerous to do that, seeing how even a high up level slime, like a king slime, should not be able to be like conquered and stuff like that. So it would probably be best not to go and try to push your luck there. So that is the other interesting aspect of this whole situation, is what they're trying to figure out, uh, the capability of their family members. Of course, they have a whole bunch of people with them backing them up if anything goes wrong, but it's still kind of crazy that they just go into a dungeon with these young kids that are like 11, and that's just something you do in this world, right? Like, if you can't do this stuff, there's some things that you just won't be useful for then. And I guess slaying praying mantises and taming, bugs, or not taming bugs, but taming slimes and taking out praying mantises is pretty top top stuff. So I am interested to see what you guys are thinking about this show, because as of right now, I think it's pretty good in the grand scheme of just they can continuously push forward the narrative that whoever kind of is in a position to teach our main character something, there's always going to be something new for him to do. For instance, now he's actually meeting the merchant, and we're actually seeing what it means for him to showcase and have his stuff appraised, just to know what type of money he could be looking at. And the Duke family doesn't want anything to do with that. They don't want anything to do with taking his money that he's going to earn from the stuff that he's created. So it's just another showcase of how, endearing and loving these people are towards him, as if he is already a part of the family. So I love that aspect of not only his character, but this family that's taken him in and shown like very interest in the multiple things he's kind of just brought into them. Not to mention he's already helped their youngest daughter, become a tamer. Not only that, he's then teaching her how to play with magic. So instead of just thinking of it as this lethal weapon, you can now see it as something that you can create bubbles. You can do, make the bubble turn into a fish. All these different things take a ridiculous amount of concentration, so it doesn't hurt the person who's learning it to make them like weak or anything. It just really helps their creativity, because what if you want to use a flame arrow, but it needs to hook around a corner to try to get someone? They might be able to do that now because of just thinking of new and creative things, or new and creative ways to actually get it done. So I'm actually really interested in seeing if that is going to be something, like if that's just a part of what we're going to get here or there, because I can kind of tell these things, right? Like, once I see a certain amount of stuff that's happening, it only makes sense that they should be able to push the envelope even further, because that's pretty much what they've already showcased. That's pretty much what they've already proven to the show, is that with a little bit more of thought and a little bit more of anything unique yourself, you might just see a much different uh, potency or even creativity from different people that get their hands on these stuff. So knowing our main character has learned like 17 different things within this one day, and the hardest thing for him to learn was dimension home, which is pretty much the size of a home, or at least that's what I'm just gonna guess, right? Like, it's literally a dimension with air in it, so there's more space in there instead of just like a small little pocket. This is like an actual dimension. Oh man, this show. I mean, the crazy thing about it is like the butler can do it, and it doesn't like the butler doesn't seem like someone who's just the scariest dude ever, and he's gonna take over the world because he can make dimensional homes, and something like that. So it doesn't seem like this magic is all that for combat, but with something as crazy as warp and teleport, it really is suited for combat. So this is the type of stuff that's weird about this world. Stuff that could be utilized in combat probably is not, right? Because the butler, I would have a hard time believing he's trained so well that he could just go into a dungeon and maybe solo it, uh, with all of the right material or like potions and stuff like that. But I may be wrong. Like, if he can warp and teleport, there's not a lot of monsters that should be able to touch him. Uh, but it is said that our main character has a huge magic capacity. So because he has so much magic, it would only make, or he has so much room for magic, it would only make sense that he could easily, oh man, that he could easily warp a lot more without getting tired, without getting fatigued. Because if anything, they should make at least this warp have some type of, you know, draw back. Because that thing is broken. Teleport, and then you can warp. Just see where you want to go, make sure you imagine it, and you're there. Like, that's how you get the drop on enemies. Like, that's the ultimate assassin tool of all times. So we'll see how this all turns out. I really do enjoy By the Grace of the Gods because they just do some wholesome stuff. They do some pretty awesome stuff with this fighting episode and learning magic and stuff. So I think they're kind of covering all the bases, and after all the bases are covered, they can just move on like they are now with this abandoned mine, and we have an idea of what type of magic there is. We know there's ice, earth, fire, you know. So all the people that we're seeing go into this dungeon is not going to be like the first time we're ever seeing any of this magic done, or it's not going to be the first time our characters will be seeing it. So the stuff that is actually new to him, he might be stealing it, right? Like, it's like, yes, I am capable of stealing everything just by pretty much watching and enacting what I saw other people's doing. It's not like there's a whole bunch of like rituals you have to follow and stuff like that. So I do like that aspect of the story. And with all that being said, though, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I'm about to drop Bodentoe here soon, so I hope you guys enjoy that as well, or at least check it out, whatever the case may be. If not, I will just talk to you Monday. So with all that being said, take care, everybody. Peace.